ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਰੇਡੀਓ USA ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਣਯੋਗ ਅਤੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਸਰੋਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿੱਘੀ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਰੋਤਿਓ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਡੇਰਾ ਇਰੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਬਾਬਤ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ। ਬੀਤੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਡੇਰਾ ਇਰੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੱਸੀ ਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਅੰਡਰਗਰਾਊਂਡ ਵਾਟਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਕੱਢ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਇੱਕ ਟੈਕਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਲਗਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ $300 ਦੇ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਟੈਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਤਾਂ $500 ਅਪ ਟੂ $500 ਅਪ ਟੂ $500 ਪਰ ਏਕੜ ਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਾਈਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਬਤ ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ ਤੋਂ ਮਡੇਰਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਾਰਮਿੰਗ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਫਾਰਮਰ, ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਪੱਗ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਫਾਰਮਰ ਆ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਆ। ਆਓ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪੱਗ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਅਰਸ਼ਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ।
ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਡੇਰਾ ਤੋਂ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ ਅਮਰੀਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਸਰਾ ਜੀ। ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
ਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੀਤੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਕ ਫਾਰਮਰ ਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਰਾਲਫ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜੇ ਨੇ Ralph Pistoresi. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Ralph, you have been the outspoken critic of this tax that Madera Irrigation District who has imposed that. So, if you can give us a quick background how we reached this position.
Okay. Well, first of all, it's not Madera Irrigation District.
Okay.
It's the White Lands of Madera County.
Mm-hmm.
The state of California back in like 1997 imposed SGMA, on which is the states wanting to control groundwater depletion in the state. So over the course of years, they developed a program. Now we're at that point where the state is telling the counties that they have to institute a groundwater management strategy, a plan,
Okay.
so that our groundwater doesn't go down and down and down. That's great, but the problem is the state solution is for us to stop pumping water. It's pretty hard to stop pumping water when over the last 30, 40 years, we've developed all of agriculture, created all kinds of jobs, economy, and everything else.
Yeah.
During that same time, 40, 50 years, the state's population has grown from 19 to 20 million people to 40 million people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And during that time, the state hasn't done anything to increase the storage and supply of water to the people.
The demands have increased.
The demand is way more increased in agriculture and also in urban use. At the same time, they haven't built storage, and the conveyance system, which is the canals and how they move the water, has gotten older and older. Some of it has problems. There's like sags in it, and they're not able to move the quantity of water they need to move because they're not taking care of it. It's like if you don't take care of your car, it breaks. So, the problem is, during this time period, the laws, environmental laws, CEQA laws, and regulation have controlled the ability of farmers to pump the water that the system was created for.
Okay.
Okay? So, before the pumps can run to put water in the aqueduct, to put water in the San Luis Reservoir, to move it to Los Angeles, before any of that can happen, temperature of the water has to be such, the certain conditions have to be such at the state and federal level.
Okay.
Okay? So, everything has to be perfect before they push the button. They don't push the button, no water. So, I mean, that's one of a lot of problems. But now Their solution is for us to stop farming.
Farming.
How's that going to work?
I don't know. I don't know how people are going to live if they don't have food. I don't know how all our employees are going to survive if they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know how the businesses in the towns are going to make it when nobody has money to go spend on anything.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a trickle-down effect of disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah.
So Ralph, this is something with one stroke of pen, they're basically taking the whole economy of the city down.
They're taking what's upsetting to me is that the Board of Supervisors in Madera, who are elected by the people of the county, are not looking out for the best of the county, the economy of the county. They are bending to the will of whatever the state tells them to do. They need to push back. They need to say, this will destroy our county. We need to think of something else.
Are there any other counties who are pushing back on these kind of?
I'm sure there are other counties. There are some Monterey pushed back, but there are some counties that are at different stages in this process.
Same thing happening.
Same thing happening. Some a little bit maybe ahead of us, a lot behind us.
But eventually, every county will like to earn more money, but they don't understand that they're going to lose much more.
This thing that they passed, this resolution, is the result of what they call a 218 election.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand what 218 election is?
No, if you
I'll
can
explain it to you.
Yeah.
A 218 election is an election that they can put forth to the people. And the way it works is if you don't want what they want to do, you must send a protest vote in.
Okay.
They make it very hard to get your thing. You must send a protest vote in by a certain time, everything has to be just right. They get it, and then they count your vote no. If you don't even, and they make it look like junk mail.
I think that what happened with you.
It happened, it almost happened. My mother, who's 91 years old, she found it, and she showed it, and we saw it. And so then what we did, we got people together, like 4 or 5 people in our office. We write a letter, and I got all the mailing list from the county, and I send everybody letters, but the right way, so they understand what's going on. Then they start thinking, 80 to 90% of the people did not know there was even an election. They didn't.
Amrik over here, he said he didn't even get that thing.
Yeah. Some people don't even get the mail. I didn't get the mail either.
Yeah. Did you get my letter or no?
No.
You
I
didn't
don't know how to
get.
get your letter. Too.
You see, that's what we're finding out. I talked to someone the other day. I told them, "Did you get a pamphlet in like an envelope?" And they said, "No, we didn't get it."
So what's happening with that is they don't have the correct mailing address, or
I don't know. It's hard to say.
if they are sending ballots to the same addresses, they're not going to reach that.
Right, but look at this. If they fail to send out to everybody, it doesn't matter. That vote counts yes for them.
Yeah,
There's no motivation. There's no motivation. The other thing that's a big issue that I see is this. Many farms in Madera are under management companies. All right. So the management company, all the mail comes to his address.
Oh.
Okay? So nobody knows who the owner is but the manager. Keep it secret, right? If the ballot, not even a ballot, it's just the letter that says you got to write a protest. If it goes to the manager and the manager doesn't pass it on to the owner doesn't know anything. But he's going to know something when he gets the tax bill.
I heard a few people already got the tax bills.
I got one today. I saw it today.
Okay, well,
It's expensive. And that is not even with the penalty. That's just the fee. And the one I got is only $138 an acre, not 246.
Okay.
Well, what's the difference there?
The difference is you're a different GSA.
Yeah,
Oh,
different.
okay.
Yeah, but the Madera, the big one, Madera,
Different.
246. An acre a year.
A year.
And don't care if almonds $1.20 a pound.
Yeah.
Don't care if you can't sell the grapes.
Yeah.
Don't make no difference. Pay.
Pay this.
Pay.
Like your current Raj, you asked for what's other county push. I just want to add it
Sure.
behalf of Ralph. I talked to a friend of mine in Watsonville, a little town right by the Watsonville they call Pajaro Valley, and they have the same problem. It came up 2017 and 18, and they push back, and they win. And
I
that's
think
what
same
we
thing
wanna do
happened-
there.
Same
That's-
thing happened in Chowchilla as well?
Where?
Chowchilla?
Or no, in Chowchilla, we sent all the envelopes out, right? Because
Okay.
I made special thing explaining it. We send it, and Chowchilla had enough protest votes, not part of this,
part of this.
but they still want to give them the penalty.
What?
Yeah, they changed the thing.
So this is an
Why
election
penalty?
year.
Yeah, they still want to give them the penalty. They say, okay, we can't give you the fee, but we can still charge you the penalty.
That's crazy.
Oh man!
And a little bit more, and a little bit more than normal.
This is getting out of hand. This is getting crazy.
Yeah, it's
so,
getting out of hand.
so in November, what are you guys
getting out of
thinking
both
for?
hands.
So in November, these supervisors are up for election?
I think two of them are.
Okay. So how
Yeah.
are they seeing it?
You think?
You know what? I'll tell you what. If we didn't have the people that I showed you in the picture there, in 2 minutes they would have passed it.
No.
In 2 minutes they would have passed it. Now tomorrow they're going to vote on it again. So at Madera, at the county building on 4th Street and 99, Highway 99, at about 10 o'clock, we're going to get together again because they're going to try to pass it. They tabled it so that all the people go away,
They can do it in secret.
when nobody's there, then they pass it.
That's what they want to
So,
do.
Ralph, so what's the current situation now? Is the bill passed or the penalty bill passed?
No.
Not yet.
No, no, it's not passed, and the fee portion, we're taking them, we're filed a complaint against the county.
Okay.
Okay, we filed a complaint.
So are you, is this illegal as well now? Is this going legal? Are you going in the courts to get a stay on this one? What's your thing?
We're pursuing it in the legal aspect to see if everything was done right.
Okay.
I'm sure there's things that are not done right.
Okay.
And we're going to investigate fully to see everybody acted appropriately.
So how did the farmers react when you saw it first? Like these things, these heavy fines and heavy taxes coming.
Well, some react one way, some react the other way. So what they do is they try to divide and conquer. Okay? So what it seems very wrong about this is they're getting a group of farmers in one particular area and putting all the weight,
Burden on
all the burden on them to pay, to fix domestic wells, to do that. They're putting it on them. Well, all the other areas are pumping water too.
It's
But
just
this
the white
area-
lands you were saying, right?
Yeah, well, white lands, but the other land is still white land. It's just in a different GSA, a different area, but it's still the same condition. But the thing is being put on this. So for me, I think there's a certain amount of discrimination occurring. It's not equitable, not fair.
Not fair.
It's just not right.
So why did they only have these pieces for the white areas when everybody else is pumping, as you said? Why it shouldn't be like all across the GSA if it's MIDs should be for everyone, right?
Don't worry, they'll get there pretty soon. They'll get there. Right now, the people that are in the irrigation district, they feel safe. Right? They feel
They are
safe.
safe.
Right? They say, well, they get the neighbor, but they don't get me. right?
That's
You see
why
what-
they don't show up over there.
They don't show up. Okay? There's some people, who knows? I don't want to say what I think I know. I don't want to say it yet, but I know some stuff, right? Okay. So what it is it's like this is a real way to find out what's in a person's heart. It really is.
Okay.
Because, we're all farmers.
Yes.
I let something bad happen to you, next day something bad going to happen to me.
Exactly.
We have to look out for each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have to. And the state, and it's already, they've decided that in California, in the San Joaquin Valley, they want to get rid of 1 million acres of farm ground.
Wow.
1 million acres.
What do they want to do with that land?
You tell me. I don't know what. I don't know what. Not good thinking.
Yeah.
We have, California grows over 400 crops.
Yeah.
Okay.
And feed the world.
Some of them are just exclusive to California.
Exclusive. All right. The other thing is this. 200 years ago, 99% of people were farmers.
Yeah.
You go to other parts of the world, 60, 80% of people are farmers.
Still are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Here, when I was a young man, 3 or 4% were farmers. Now only 1% are farmers. 1%. 1% of the people making all the food for everybody else.
Yeah. Feed the whole world.
So
California. Right?
it feeds California, it feeds the United States, and it
Yeah.
feeds the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we are concerned about, we're concerned about creating more water storage for everybody. We don't want to steal each other's water. That's not what we're about. We're for making more water, capture more water for food and for people in the cities to drink and have what they need.
So, Ralph, are there any projects which are on the similar lines, capturing more water, which have been passed and nothing has been done on it?
Yes. One of the projects in Madera that they want to participate in is called Sites Reservoir. It's a reservoir up by Sacramento. All right. That reservoir, they wanted to do it from 1980.
Wow.
Were you
Before
even born in 1980?
I was not.
Yeah, before you were born, this has been, they trying to do it.
Wow.
Before you were born. All environmental, special interests, lawsuits, environmental study, this and that, haven't built anything. And when they build it, it may not be for agriculture that much. It may be for environmental purposes
just
or
for-
trading water where you're affecting an area, you put money in that. It could be something like that. And they haven't even done that.
Yeah, one thing we need to mention, like as we talked last week too, he mentioned earlier today that is coming to everybody. So we did the same thing last week. We have to really put focus on that everybody needs to go
Come
there
out.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And show up. If it happens in one GSA or one district, then it's coming to everybody.
It's coming.
Sooner or later, everybody will be on the same boat. So we need to help. It's not like it's only happening in Madera. Everybody from I don't farm in Madera, but I will go there tomorrow to help my fellow farmers there.
So, Ralph, I heard there have been millions of dollars of funding which was given to Madera district as well for certain things. Where has that funding gone? Are there questions on that too?
That is a good question. I tried to find the answer to that question last Friday. They never told me.
What are they saying?
I have to find the answer to that because we need to know what it is. Because when money is put for something, it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
And that is a very important thing. I was planning on doing it today. I forgot to do it. But that's something I need to do.
Okay.
Because when you do a project, when they give you money, you're supposed to use it for that. But they passed money to build Temperance Flat, and they have never built it. I think they collected the money and everything is not built.
So
See-
is there no questioning to these guys? Like, what are they doing? Like, people are so unaware of the things happening?
They're unaware of it. There needs to be an accounting, an accountability of what's going on. It's our opinion that what's happening is the state is not, the management of the water has to be prioritized differently. See, because what has happened is a lot of this special interest are they're mucking everything up. They're making it hard. So what I think we need to do is we got to get the people behind the farmers, and the farmers have to be behind the people in the city, and we have to demand more
From the government.
from the state, from the federal government. I think the federal government would be more cooperative than the state. But we have to demand a reprioritization of where the water's going to go and how it's going to be used. We have to determine, are people more important than fish?
True.
We have to determine that. And if we decide that people are more important than fish, when certain decisions have to be made, we have to keep that in mind. And sometimes we have to overlook certain things that are never overlooked to get what we want done accomplished.
Yeah, the other thing, Raj, is really important here is we heard so many times governors' executive orders to cut the water, right, for everybody in the state.
Yeah.
And now we are seeing that the farmers are cutting their GSAs are cutting their water. Like, it's not only that these taxes, they gave us a plan for next 5 years, in next year, 10 years, this is how much we're going to cut it, right? All these things happening on the supply side of it, on the demand side of
Demand
it.
side. Yeah.
Right?
But they're not
Nothing is happening on the supply side of it. The only thing on the supply side, everybody is looking towards the sky and hoping that there will be more rain, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody loves Sigma because we want everything to be sustainable, because we want to do the agriculture here for generations, right?
Yeah.
But how much work was done in last 20 years, 30 years on the supply side of it? How many reservoirs, how many dams are made? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
The only thing we see is cuts and more taxes, cuts and more taxes.
Even the urban people, even the city people are facing that now.
Oh,
can have a glass now.
You can water your lawn.
Yeah.
You have to do 15% minimum conservation
I asked
and
that
all that
question kind to of the thing. congressman the Friday, didn't answer me right. I said, tell me if I'm wrong. Shasta Lake Dam built in 1919? Then I just asked a question like, it's around 50. I said, okay, that's fine. Anyway, it doesn't make a difference with the year. Then it's supposed to be 18 feet go higher. Then we can store the billions of a gallon. California got that drought, and we get enough water. You don't have no answer for that.
You know what? We have to really think about that this is all done by design. Okay? This is not an accident. Okay. Look,
They've been planning to do that.
put politics to a little bit aside, but think about this. How is it that we are one of the richest countries in oil and the richest in natural gas, and we have the highest quality oil that there is? And we are not pumping oil from our oil fields. We didn't build a pipeline. We're not doing leases. We're buying oil from Russia that's 2 times dirtier than our oil and has to go through a double refining process. Well, how are we going
Making it cost higher.
Okay, what is wrong with the way we're thinking? You see what I mean? It's almost like they want there to be a shortage of food, a crisis. I mean, how can you not believe that when you see nothing is being done?
So Ralph, do you think, as you're saying, this looks by design, is it being designed so that the corporate is main player in farming now?
The corporate,
So that the family farms are gone, a lot of family farm, anyways, they are getting out of this business.
a lot of people, my friends, have quit, sold their ranches, and moved away from California.
Exactly.
Okay. They just said, they see it's not going to work.
The future
So they
is
just
bleak.
said, well, we leave. Some of us are fighting, right? Okay. But I think what we have to do is we have to determine what we want our future to be. And we have to get leaders that give us the future that we need and we deserve.
Good leader.
Good leaders.
So Ralph, when you talk to politicians, like, what are they saying? Do they see any solution to these, or it's just their same old things?
You know, politicians, bureaucrats, they don't solve problems.
They don't.
I mean, politicians could do something once in a while. They could do something. The bureaucrats, some of the people, they have no skin in the game. You see, when you're a farmer, you have skin in the game.
True.
Okay, they work government job. Okay, if it goes this way, they still get paid. If it goes that way, they still get paid.
True.
All right. They make a mistake, they don't get fired.
It's hard.
There was a mistake made, I think this last year. They let go 750,000 acre feet of water out of Shasta Dam to the ocean because they miscalculated
Wow.
how much water was in the snow.
Oh, wow.
750 didn't do anybody any good, just went to the
All
ocean.
these fish be happy, you know, huh?
The fish are happy with a little bit of water. You give them a bowl, they're happy.
The fish is more important than farmer, I think, no?
Well,
That's what they're saying.
that's what we have to determine. If fish are more important than people, not farmer, people.
The people gonna eat the fish. Fish are not gonna eat the people, man. Come on.
yeah,
So this is the other way happening, and the fish is eating people now.
yeah.
Oh,
With
no
the
way.
amount of water we are sending.
You know what? If we eat the fish becomes a person.
So eat more fish. Huh?
Yeah. And we solve the problem. You just eat the fish and become a person.
So Harsh, what are you
Yeah,
saying?
so no, I was going to say that we always hear that there's not enough water and we are in the drought and all these things, right? And actually, if you see the multiple studies, every year we do have enough water to basically for the whole California we
True.
need it.
Yeah.
But it's a problem of storing that water
Storing.
and better managing that water, right? That we came to going back to the same point. There was not enough work done in last 30 years to make this thing work. Right now, the multiple in one study I was reading yesterday, they were showing like 200 million acre foot water comes to California every year, approximately, but different means, right? Snow, water, and from the rivers from the other states and everything. 100 million acre foot goes into the natural habitats like the ditches, canals, the rivers, whatever it is, right? Out of the 100 million acre foot left, 50 million goes to the delta. And then everything else comes in that way. We only need very few, not that much water that we can say, no, we don't have enough water, we have to cut it. Again, we need to work on the supply side of it. If we can better manage what the water we have we won't be in this
Maintain
situation.
the canals which are already there, less wastage of water within that.
And when
Right.
you go to those politicians or bureaucrats, the one answer we got even from the congressman, they say whenever we try to do something, there are multiple people comes with the different lawsuits, environmental studies, this and that, right?
For special interest.
So basically, they are saying that they are stronger than the farmers. The farmers don't have that voice.
So is that really the case? We see that they have so much hold over the government.
I've heard from water experts, the problem is not necessarily the environment, it's special interest. You know, special interest, Sierra Club, things like that. And you know what? You need to investigate to see how much money foreign countries donate to such organizations. Because if they want to make your country go down, all they have to do is invest in the organizations that help them do it. In Russia, Russia was supporting all the new green energy deals in other countries. All right? Because they want them to make the mistake. Now they made the mistake. Now Russia's in a good position to make a lot of money because they need the Russian energy. You know, we can't make mistakes with water and food.
Yeah.
You can't make, and the other issue, I don't know if we talked about it, but in LA, the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, is 4 feet of water and after it goes down 4 more feet, cannot make electrical power.
Yeah. No
11
problem.
western states, 4 feet. And they drained one lake, Lake Powell, already they're draining it into Lake Mead
Mead, so
to
that-
keep the water up.
Yeah.
You talk about, you imagine if Los Angeles had no power. Can you imagine the chaos there would be?
It'll be huge chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see that these taxes and these fines, is it like you see that it's a big time government overreach?
Oh, it's a land grab. Because what they're going to do, first of all, they're going to want to cut your water. So first, they're stealing the water. If you want to stay in business, you got to pay. Fine,
Exactly.
penalty, fee, right? Pay to play. Pay. But you know what? Sooner or later, as they keep cutting the allocation, the penalty is going to get bigger.
Yeah.
There's a point, and the point is going to be quick, not
that far away.
because the margin in farming is not there. They will take your water, they will take your money, and the next thing they'll do is take your ranch. Because they're going to put the penalty and the fee onto the taxes. If you can't pay it,
put the
they
lien
take your ranch.
And they put the lien on your property.
Lien on your property.
The government land grab is happening right here under our noses.
Yeah.
So you are one of the few farmers in Madera, and I'm pretty sure other farmers who are listening to these
No, there's
things,
other farmers.
there are who are helping you, and everybody else is trying to give a fight to these bureaucrats, these politicians. So
Yeah.
everybody who's listening, who is watching, so please do your thing. Help these farmers. Stand with them. We get our food from them. They are basically burning the midnight oil, as you can say, so that we get fed. So everybody needs to do their part and help these farmers and stop these land grabs and overreach of the government.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys want to add on to these things?
We started a group. It's called California United Water Coalition.
Okay.
We're putting up a website pretty soon. We're in the process of getting it all done. If you want to find out more and learn more, we'll put information on the website so you can learn more about it and get involved. Hey, without water,
Nothing.
there's
Thing
nothing.
you can do. No.
Nothing.
You mentioned before, Ralph, that divide and conquer. So they're trying to create that divide with city people and the farmers. They always say that, hey, 90% of the water is used for irrigation and
They lie. They're lying.
so they're trying to divide those people. So those people need to understand that that 90% is actually needed. They are even getting less water as they deserve. So
You know, there's one thing. If you go, I went to a grocery store and I asked them, okay, we went through COVID. We saw what happened in COVID. I asked the woman, I said, the egg department, I says, if you didn't put eggs here, how long would they last? She told me 3 days. Okay, so I go talk to somebody else. I said, if you don't stock the shelves, how long will the food last? 2 weeks. That's with no emergency, normal. Another guy told me week and a half. So food is water. We're making water into food. We're not wasting anything.
yeah,
Yeah, we're making food for the people.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can just go into internationally, like it.
Feeding
say-
California, feeding America, feeding the world.
No,
So
I
help,
just
help
wanna-
these California farmers.
Raja used to take a load from Salinas area, Watsonville. They used to be Strawberry City. We take a load of strawberry to the airport. They fly through to England,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, and everything. The crate price was like $3 in California, and somehow we know they were paying like $40 crate.
Sure.
Well, who's making the money? California. They're supporting us. If we don't have that, if we don't grow that, if we don't ship it out, then what can happen?
And then there's balance of trade too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one last thing I would say, and Raj is it's not end of the world. We can see other people have the same issues what we have. It. The good example is Israel. they went through the same scenarios where they didn't have enough water, but they invested way too much in their infrastructure, and they looked into the future, not like today's what we're going to do the cuts.
Yeah.
You can easily read what they did it. So if other people can do it, why not we can do it? As Jim Costa was saying, now we are the 5th biggest economy in the world, California itself.
California. So
And why we cannot take those measures and make it work, right?
Exactly.
And all the politicians and everything, the elections is coming, they're going to come for the voting and for the funds. Don't let them go.
without your questions
Yes.
answered.
Just
Yeah.
be ready. Ask them what do you need, what they are doing for us.
What your issues are,
Yeah.
because there is nobody in this world right now who doesn't have an issue.
There needs to be the will to accomplish things.
Yeah.
True.
Not study them, analyze them, do them.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do them.
So study and analyze. Governor Brown asked to make 2 canals or tunnels.
Yeah.
Now this Governor Newsom is saying make one and do the study again.
They wanted to give Governor Newsom Metropolitan 2 tunnels for free. They were
Yes.
going to pay for them. He said no.
Yeah.
Give us one.
They didn't ask for
he
any
wants,
state
no,
of
he wants to do one.
He wants to do one and do the study all over again.
Oh, of course.
Get all the approvals again, which is a pain. Yeah. So you know where this is heading.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we need to thank Ralph because he did such an amazing job there. Otherwise, so many people like us wouldn't even notice what
No.
happened there.
What's
right?
happening?
So we should appreciate what he's doing.
Well, there's other people working on it
Ralph is
too.
doing a good job
Ralph
for
and his
Madera.
group of
He's the
farmers.
pulling whole farmer, whole county, because that's what we start introducing.
That's why half of them hate me now.
He's really good.
That always is there.
Can't make everybody happy.
You cannot. You cannot.
No.
Thank you, Ralph, for visiting our studios and talking about this.
Thank you. I really
Thank you,
enjoyed it.
Big G. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maran, pyar bhai. Sat Shri
Thank
Akal.
you, Mehrbani.